All right, in
won't.
2002, Microsoft launched Xbox Live.
Yeah. Which is, again, it's something to think about, like, well, of course Xbox Live existed beforehand, or of course everyone's always been online.
There was a time in our lives when Xbox Live did not exist.
It did not exist, no.
Well, we just didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
That's the real issue.
No, but there was a time where it didn't launch alongside Xbox. I mean,
it came a year after the Xbox.
Yeah,
was launched.
and Xbox Live, along with Halo 2, Halo 2 coming out a year or two after, introduced what modern online gaming is, and a lot of the features that modern online gaming has that we sort of just take for granted, of matchmaking and lobbies and chat and being able to party up. And it was a risky move on Microsoft's part because the Dreamcast had tried to be an online system and failed.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, it was to the market a little bit early, and it just had dial-up, and like that wasn't really working. And then PS2 did have an online adapter, and like you could play SOCOM on it, but like I don't think nothing was to the level.
Well, that's the thing. They had an adapter. The Xbox had a broadband adapter built into it.
Yeah, it was built in.
Yeah,
that was one of the reasons
shipped
why it
it
was
that
so
way.
big.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's
an example of real forward thinking from Microsoft.
Yeah, absolutely. And it showed where as Xbox Live evolved and became not only like an auxiliary component of gaming, but as when you booted up a 360, like this was like your sort of online destination.
Yeah, I mean it's a necessary component of just owning a console.
Yeah,
like not necessarily the paid version, but
Yeah.
like still it's something that's like as the years went on, you had to have it immediately. Like you couldn't get away from it.
For the first time, at least on consoles, you had a friends list. You
Yep.
had one identity across all games that
Yeah.
you played. You could voice chat with your friends.
That was the tough thing of a lot of us were sort of younger. And we made some dumb choices with our
Your
names.
gamer tags.
Yeah, shouldn't have written down McBiggity that long ago. I didn't think I'd ever have to say it on a camera.
But now you do.
Now I do.
Almost every day.
Almost every day. Yeah, but it was, there were a lot of games for the original Xbox that supported it, and sports games and shooters, but yeah, it was Halo 2 that really was the game where it was like, well, this is something that...
This is life now. This is what everything's going to be for the next forever.
Yeah, and like we mentioned the year Halo 2 came out in 2004, which we somehow already filmed because I don't know how anything works. We mentioned how it was when Halo 2 came out, it was the number one most played game on Xbox Live for 2 years until Gears of War came out on a whole different platform.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think how quickly Microsoft was able to get it right with Xbox Live, whereas like you look at a company like Nintendo and you're like, you're still not doing online right?
Yeah.
How is this possible?
Don't even.
Someday.
How do I have to give you a weird code to enter to play my Mario Maker level?
I don't know. Microsoft made a big gamble they bet on the future. They bet on broadband, built it into the console, launched Xbox Live, and that worked out real well for them.
Yeah.
But then look at Xbox One. They again tried to bet on the future, and that totally did not go.
Not only did they have to do a 180, but it was eventually like, well, disconnecting. No one wants their Xbox looking at them and doing weird things.
Oh,
it's
well, I
interesting.
mean, maybe sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but today you turn on your Xbox One, your PS4, very similar online environments. You can see what your friends are playing. There's like game stores online where you can buy new games, and that's all because of Xbox Live.
Yep.
Xbox
Yeah,
Live
and I mean,
gave us all that.
the 360, one of the things that defined it were the awesome downloadable Summer of Arcade games.
Yeah.
That stuff like like Meat
How
Boy
about
and
those?
Braid and Limbo and Shadow Complex
Yeah.
and these games that were like, it was the rise of the indie, which doesn't really have to be even a word anymore because now it's just games are games. But it's like you can make a smaller game on a smaller budget and not have to sell a bajillion copies because you're skirting around publishers or skirting around having to physically produce the games. And Xbox Live was sort of the gateway of that happening in the home, in the console space.